Ever stroll into a bar thinking you're invisible, only to watch your buddy get checked out while he's busy losing at darts? Here's a little secret. It's not the hair gel or his dad's vintage wristwatch. Women spot the psychological signals men leak without even trying. Stuff you can't bottle and sell on late-night TV. Miss these and you'll be wallpaper. Get them right? You're in her head before you even order a drink. So, want to actually show up on women's radar? Here are 4 signals, straight from psychology and, let's be honest, straight from life, that get you noticed instantly. Ego as magnetic confidence. Let's settle this. You do need an ego. Not the type where you start every sentence with, "back when I was the man," but the quiet kind, where your presence says, "Yeah, I belong here." Think of it this way. A cat never asks permission to sit on the warmest chair. He just stares you down until you move. Channel a little of that. Confidence isn't about being the loudest guy in the group or turning every conversation into a TED Talk about yourself. It's the little stuff. Posture that doesn't sag, a voice that doesn't squeak, and a face that doesn't look like you just got caught sneaking cookies at midnight. Walk in like you own at least half the chairs in the place. But, don't actually say that out loud. And let's be clear, decisiveness is the real MVP here. Order the steak without reading the menu like it's the Magna Carta. Pick a table like you paid the mortgage on it. Women notice the guy who acts like he knows he belongs, and pity the man who needs to check if his seat's taken. Bonus tip, if you ever call yourself king in public, the universe issues you an invisible dunce cap. Don't do it. Controlled spontaneity. Here's the twist. Women crave fun, but fun needs a little danger, just not the calls her ex from a rooftop kind. Money helps, but you don't need yacht money. You need, let's try something different money. That's a psychological flex, not a flex of your actual wallet. You don't want to be the guy who needs an itinerary to order coffee. At the same time, don't be the maniac who says, "Let's get tattoos at 2 a.m. Trust me, nobody wants to explain that at work on Monday. Controlled spontaneity is picking the jazz bar when the steakhouse is too loud, or grabbing street tacos after a fancy dinner, just because. It's a wink at adventure, not a sprint toward bankruptcy. You want her to feel safe enough to say yes, and excited enough to wonder what's next. Think Indiana Jones with a retirement plan. Fun that's just wild enough, but doesn't end with bail money. Status and self-respect. Okay, here's the uncomfortable truth. Women are loyal to the guy they want, not the one who sends 12 "you up" texts and a playlist of sad songs. Status isn't about car leases or networking. It's the way you carry yourself when nobody's looking. Calm, present, and so not desperate that if someone handed you a pick-me sign, you'd use it to light a campfire. Your attention is the reward, not the clearance rack. You give it sparingly, like it costs you real money. The nice guy gives away approval like candy on Halloween. You hand it out like someone passing out cigars after a baby is born. Once in a blue moon, and only when it matters. Self-respect is your baseline. Women spot a man who respects himself, and they respect you back. The win at any cost guy? That's amateur hour. You're not auditioning. You're inviting. Pro tip, if you ever introduce yourself as an alpha male, congratulations, you're officially not. The wolf never has to say he's the wolf. The sheep already know. Presence through discipline. Ever notice the guy who's steady when everything's going sideways? That's discipline. Most men twitch, check their phone, or start narrating their fantasy football team when they get nervous. But the man who's just there, anchored, listening, eyes not darting like he's tracking a fly, that guy gets remembered. You want your focus to be like a black hole. Everything around it gets sucked in. When you listen, you listen. When you talk, it's because you've got something to say, not because you hate silence. Emotional control isn't about never getting rattled. It's about getting rattled and making it look like you meant to do that. If a drink spills, you crack a joke. If someone cuts you off, you pause, then keep your cool. That's presence. The guy who melts down over spilled wine? He's one minor inconvenience away from writing an angry Yelp review. If you ever smash your phone in frustration, just know, somewhere, a group of mature women just collectively sighed and swiped left. So remember, ego you've actually earned, fun with a brake pedal, status you don't advertise, and discipline you don't need to Instagram. Women spot these things from across the room. Get them down, and you're not just in the conversation, you are the conversation. And if you want more real, tested dating signals, no guru nonsense, just what women notice when you think nobody's watching, stick around, hit subscribe, and welcome to the world where invisible guy at the bar is officially a thing of the past.